Hey guys, welcome to our channel. We recently posted our theory of what's going on with all these things, and I'll post a link. And only 20 people or so have seen it, but so I got a comment from Jen's Gems and talked about the vision she had, and I thought about that, and these are why I want the comments, guys. Really, because I never would have thought of this, but because it was just in my brain. So I wouldn't have thought to explain it, I guess, for some reason. But now we're going to, and I've got an illustration here. Now, the vision was that she had seen all the uh, probability waves blown out at once, and it ended the infinite probability wave. Well, that was an interesting point, and I completely believe your vision. But I have a different thought of what's actually going on here, and I've drawn an illustration. All right, now let me just say that I can't scale down infinity, but I'm going to use a number for a scale for infinity, which doesn't make any sense, but it will. And we're all familiar with the number 4, so I'm using 4. So 4 is our infinite number. All right, scaled down, of course. Now, here we got each one of these particles creates, there's 4, a probability wave, which I've drawn in a circle. Now, none of these are identical. All right. Within these waves are these lines, and they're possibility lines. All right. Now, they're infinite, but I've drawn 4 because that's our infinite number. Remember, that's our, and each one of these points on the possibility lines indicate a possible outcome, or what we call reality. All right. These, for the sake of illustration, these over here on this side are the less probable outcomes, the less probable possible outcomes. When you get to the middle here, they're more probable. And when you get out here, they're most probable. All right. This represents a section, an infinite section. All right. So this is one section, one infinite section of the infinite particle or the infinite probability waves. This is a section we're looking at. All right, it's infinite. You can't count the waves in it. You can't count the possibilities or probable outcomes in it. But it's one section. All right, and it's huge. So let's suppose that these less probable outcomes, some of these are going to instantly go away because they're not probable. And so some of these are going to eliminate themselves. Even some of the more probable ones probably will be gone. Bombs, nuclear wars, whatever have you. Some of the spinning ball possibilities, there probably aren't a lot of those because consciousness was to have a hard time sustaining on a spinning ball that was doing all that maneuvering. So there's probably, those are somewhere in there, and a lot of them are probably gone. But let's just suppose that something cataclysmic happens, like Jen's Gems saw, and every point, infinite point in this whole section went kaplooey. But guess what? Here's the problem. It was infinite section in infinite waves, and what I've got is another one identical to it, and it would just go up, and it would take its place. And everything from here would transfer to here, or somewhere else in the infinite probability waves. And I believe you could destroy an infinite section of the infinite probability waves, but you could never destroy all of the infinite probability waves. And I don't think you could calculate them. Even if you had for 500 trillion quantum computers calculating at once, it's infinite. So you'd need 500 trillion more, and by the time you got those, you'd need 500 trillion more, and it wouldn't stop. So I guess that's the point I'm trying to say. Hopefully I will help anybody who um, maybe feels that all the probability waves could be wiped out at once understand that infinite is not a number you can count to. There's too many. You can't even break it down to trillions or quadrillions or a googleplex if that's a thing. So because it's not even double that, it's not even triple that. It's infinite. There's not an end. So possibilities, probabilities, and possible outcomes along those points, there's always going to be somewhere for the energy to go in another probability wave. And I think, like I say, when we die, well, our perception would be we're here. Let's say we've made it. We're more now because, we're past the low probability. So we're in a higher probability, but we die. Well, guys, our energy would go here or maybe even here. Something close, possibly even another probability wave along a similar line. And let me just say that time isn't a factor. This reality might be 1,000 years ahead or behind this reality, which may be a minute behind or ahead of this reality, and so on and so forth. And you might have two that are exactly identical along the way, not in other ways, but as far as time would go, or as far as you would perceive time. So when they talk about time travel, what they're really talking about is jumping to a reality or a possibility line or an outcome point. Reality, what we call reality, an outcome point, a possible outcome point. You would just jump from one to the other. Things would be a little different. You might jump over here to a less probable one and you wouldn't even know it. And if that went kerplooey, you might end up over here. Remember, it's infinite. I'm using 4 because we can all relate to 4. But 4 is infinite in this case. So I hope that helps. And if anybody can think of any way I could do it better, I'd love to hear your comments. And thanks for all your comments and your subscriptions. We're up above 140, which is awesome. And thanks for your thumbs up and thumbs down and all your help with all this along the way. And you guys have a great rest of your night. I hope I explained this correctly. And again, let me know in the comments section if I could do it better. And thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your night.